Hey, and welcome back. We are going to be having some Monsters Inc. Scream Team or Scare Island, depending on which part of the world you're from. I'm going to be your host, Dino5HD, for the next few runs, but I also am going to be commentating in the next run as well with Viper. So let's take it away.
No worries, thanks very much, Dean. Yeah, so this is Monsters Inc. As Dean said, he put it, he took the words out of my mouth. Monsters Inc. Scare Island for the PS1 or Monsters Inc. Scream Team if you're from the US. This is the any percent category for the PS1. We're doing the no medal duping section, so any percent is obviously just to get the credits as fast as possible. You can do this in one of two ways. One is to beat the game 100%. And collect everything en route to getting towards the end of the game. But the main ending, so to speak, you can get from getting to the end of the Arctic Pursuit. So I'll explain a little bit more as the run goes between myself and Dean. But for now, let's get into the run. So if we're ready on our timer, I'll give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so first thing to kind of mention straight off the bat. So this game released in 2001, so quite late in the PS1 life cycle. In the levels, you get to pick as either Mike or Sully. We're going to be using Mike for most levels. Mainly because he has a roll function that we're able to use, and he's able to move a bit faster because of it. Now we might get stuck on a few things. Now, the first 5 or so 6 minutes of this run is essentially just a training level, and this is just introduce you to the mechanics. So introduces you to the double jump, the grab ledge, or ledge grab, sorry, and yeah, how the whole game works. And that's essentially all it is. Now, Dean can attest, he's also run this game himself, and yeah, the game's not too bad. All honesty, I'd say it's quite friendly, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's definitely fun. It's a nice casual game, I'd think to say. It's a very optimized speed run as well. So movement tech is big, so you'll notice like cutting corners, getting the rolls right. It's very precise.
It's also skipping these things as well. The what's it called? The
But the
what are they called?
mailboxes.
Mailboxes. Yeah. So I can stand right close to that door, and it doesn't make a difference how close you stand to it. It's just like, oh, it only slightly improves things. So you notice here as well. So there are a few things that we're going to be doing, which include breaking boxes and collecting something called primordial ooze, which is this stuff. Now this is quite useful because this is how we scare the nerves. So the way the game is structured is that every level contains 8 nerves. Now in the tutorial you have to scare all 8, and how you do this is this. You end up going up to it, start usually by pressing circle. Circle is like the primary one. Pressing X when you fill the meter right to the top, which as you can see here. So we just wait here, and like I said, these cutscenes aren't skippable, which is a real shame. However, there is some a speed strat that we can use towards the end, which makes things a lot easier. So you notice here we have a meter, and the meter fills up different colors. Now, this primordial ooze is a way of filling this bar up, and when it gets to certain levels you can scare certain types of nerves or robot children, whatever you want to call them. So like for example on this one, we have to get the level up to orange, but immediately we're getting this yellow one here because we've, as you can see on the left hand side, we have got up the yellow level, we've activated it. And now we've got the orange one, and then next thing is just a case of time to spam, basically. It is essentially a button mashing simulator game half the time.
Yeah.
But the combinations are random.
Yeah. The fun of it is that you get random combinations of buttons, but yeah, going back to sort of the way the game formats the medals, because obviously category is called no medal duping, so there's medals in the game. Each area has a bronze, a silver, and a gold medal. The bronze medal, we're about to show that. We just got it there. It's for scaring the 5 nerves. The 5 nerves go from the blue level all the way up to the orange level. There are 3 more nerves, which we're going to see soon. But first, the silver medal is for collecting these tokens. There's 10 of them in every level.
So, luckily, it's as we were saying, it is a nice like introduction. There really isn't too much to it. You can make this go a bit faster. There you go. So as the medals progress, the funny thing is that you can actually, well, for like the 100% on certain levels, you can actually get all of the 10. If you actually wanted to, and you're able to get your movement right, you could actually pick up all 10 tokens in some levels, which is quite funny, really, because the game's not really, it doesn't intend to let you do that, or games don't tend to let you do that. Like, oh yeah, you've got to, you know, you have to friggin' get this, this, and this. It's like, do I? Yeah, I have to get this. But yeah, it's quite funny. So yeah, the 2 things happen, by the way, with the meter on the left. So as it fills up, you can see now that it's lit up red. So now we're able to scare the hardest nerves, which are the red ones. And they take 5 different button presses. And as a result, are a bit of a pain. I won't lie to you, they are a bit of a conundrum when it comes to scaring them. However, you may notice as well that when we ended up getting a full meter, we ended up actually achieving something which was really good, and was allowed us to, well, do whatever really. Make it nice and easy. So,
yeah.
You get a free token.
I'm just going to change my hat from commentator to host for a second, because we have $5 from Howling Mad Mike, and this is going to be a great comment he's written here. Mike Wazowski, 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 Mike Wazowski. That is all.
Just Mike Wazowski the whole way through.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
I tried to do a boo, like the boo, not the voice, but I was like, no, I can't do that for that many.
Wazowski.
Yeah. Okay. Marketplace. This is actually a very unique trick. Going off the premise of what we need to do, so we're only going for the bronze medal, so we're going to scare 5 nerves. Now, to do that, we need to get a certain level of ooze, which we can do by jumping actually onto the rooftops, because there's red oozes which give you more progress. So what Viper's trying to do here is, you can see there's like an outline of a trampoline. You only unlock the trampolines when you complete the bronze medal in all of these levels, but he can do that, which is a small, but slightly precise jump. It's not like entirely precise, but it is quite tricky, which takes him to the rooftops without needing the trampoline. He can get enough red ooze straight away, and you can see we're already halfway up the yellow meter, which allows us to scare the nerves in this area, and then we head down into some sewers to scare the others.
Also, he immediately jumps down, so if you just jump in the air, he'll come down to you when he lands. If you can catch him fast enough, he immediately goes, dink, okay, all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is certain, like, the other thing is as well is that you can play this game however you like. Obviously, there is certain routes that you can take to getting certain nerves. Like, feel free to do that if you first start running the game, of course. But the main thing above all else is just a case of to make sure that you scare the bare minimum. So as Dean was saying before, we end up like scaring the bare minimum here, which is 5 nerves. But the medal duping's a bit of a weird one. We mentioned it before, albeit very briefly. But yeah, so the medal duping was actually found, I don't believe, that long ago. Like I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago it was found. And essentially what happened was someone found that by getting, I think it was by dying, it ended up causing an interesting dilemma. where it was like, oh yeah, there's this weird thing happens. I'm like, okay, what's the weird thing that happens? It turns out that you're able to to get the I think it's like you activate the cutscene or something for getting a medal. You activate it twice, and as a result, it counts as 2 medals instead of 1. It's really weird. I
Yeah.
don't know the logic in it, but yeah. It's
No, I
strange.
say the technical side of it is a bit strange, but my assumption is that it triggers the cutscene, but then as you die and cancel it, when it respawns you, you're still technically in that cutscene, so it does it twice for some reason. I don't know, but PS1 games, they're good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so now to kind of explain how each level, how each area is broken down. So we're in the urban training grounds now. So essentially, each level, there's 3 levels, and they're split into like 4 stages. So we need to get the bronze medal on all of them. So now we're in the park, which have these very nice bins. Each
It's
bin can
convenient.
hold, yeah, very nice, convenient bins that people have disposed of their ooze. They don't want it, but we'll take it. So we'll hit each bin 4 times to grab maximum ooze. The 5th one gives you like a packet of like it's like health basically. Like you just refills your health bar. We're gonna destroy this kid's sandcastle because we're mean, we're monsters, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is not something that's actually mentioned anywhere in the film. So in a weird kind of way. So with Monsters Inc. So this is kind of based off the Monsters Inc. film, the original, but in the weird turn of events, it's got a slightly alternate storyline, I guess, where
Yeah.
they mention about being trained up. It's like because I didn't watch Monsters University originally, but I'd say that it takes place as we know, like Monsters University was set before Monsters Inc. But this
Yeah.
kind of takes place where they're not even top scarers at this point. So realistically, it's kind of set between University and Monsters Inc. itself, because they're still going under training. Undergoing training for being a top scarer. Like that's the main thing about it. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't quite know where it fits in the Monsters Inc.'s timeline. This.
Yeah, I think it's like you say, it is that period where they've just joined Monsters Incorporated, so they've got to train to be the how to scare them. So they have these training grounds, which is why you call it some training grounds. These are literally simulations to practice how to scare children. Because they have to be so adept at doing that.
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah. But yeah, so you might have noticed earlier that this gate gets opened. This is where the final nerve is for the area. Surprisingly, the park is actually quite a small level. You wouldn't think it, but there's actually like a bunch of like hidden areas that you can only get to if you come back after getting like the trampoline and stuff.
Hey, it's really bizarre, really bizarre. I never understand like how half it works. Sometimes it's like this could work well if this happened or if that happened. It's like yeah, it just works. It just works.
Yeah, like it is very much a case of I think this game was designed okay with the Monsters Inc. It's a popular film. Let's make a game and get some money.
Essentially, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing is as well. I think we did briefly mention it as well. So the game allows you to pick between Mike and Sully. Obviously, as we know, there was a lot more characters than that in Monsters Inc. But in the game, they only narrow it down to Mike or Sully. At the start of the run, I mentioned that we mainly play as Mike. And the reason I say mainly is because Sully does actually have some use. As you will see, in one particular level, there's only one skip mainly that consists of him that you actually need him for, because, funnily enough, Mike can't do every single skip in the game. You can do like the entire run with Sully if you so desired. I don't think it'd make too much of a difference, but at the same
Nah.
time, it's like it. I don't know. It's more that it's slower if you used.
Yeah,
I go on.
I feel like it's if you're just starting the run, like learning it for the first time, like it probably wouldn't make much of a difference. If you're going for world record, then it would make a big difference. I think that's
Oh, hell
that's
of
the
a-
big thing. Yeah.
Hell of a
Um,
difference.
Also, Mike pointing out the most annoying piece of like canon that they broke in Monsters University, because in Monsters Inc., Sully and Mike claim to have known each other since like the 4th grade. Because there's a line where Mike goes, "You've been jealous of my good luck since the 4th grade, pal." But then apparently they meet for the first time at university in the prequel. So
Yeah, it's
Disney
really weird.
Disney messed up.
They didn't think about that one. There's
No.
logic in there, but they didn't think of it somehow.
Not bad for a guy.
Yeah. Okay, so another bronze medal down. So we've done Marketplace, we've done the park, we've done downtown. The only area which we have left, which I'm trying to delay this because I've forgotten what level it is.
There's nothing.
Also, a really good cutscene there. So, this being Disney, or Pixar, I forget which one it is. Is it Disney? It's Disney, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
with this
Pixar.
being, is it? I don't know. At this point, it probably. I think it is
Actually, yeah.
supposed to be Disney.
Yeah,
But
it's a Pixar film, I'm pretty sure.
with this being the early 2000s, it obviously makes sense for bits of film to be in here. So obviously we have to skip those because otherwise we get DMCA'd. But the funny thing is, on that last level, for whatever reason, I don't know why it's so funny. My chat picked up on it quite early on. But basically, it was like one of the parts is there is nothing, nothing more deadly than
But deadly than a human.
a child or something, and it's part of the film. But when we skip it, you just hear Waternoose say there is nothing, and then it just cuts out, and it's like there is nothing. So it just become like a bit of a meme in my chat.
I like that. Yeah,
Like,
it's
there is nothing. It's like, so there's nothing. It's like
Yeah.
what is the secret of the secret ingredient soup? There is nothing.
there is nothing. Yeah. I think I remember the line. Is it like there is nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child or something like that?
Yeah, like a single touch will kill you or something.
Yeah,
It's like
a single-
I won't go to the kids' room. You can't make me. Oh, it's a good film.
Yeah, like if you don't know the plot of Monster Inc., by the way, they're probably wondering
You're
why
missing
they're
out.
scaring. Yeah, one, you're missing out definitely. The basic plot is also will you get it? Okay, not quite. There's a skip you can do there where if you go off the right spot, you respawn by this nerf, which I have yet to get.
I don't even know how you get it, to be honest. I was just
Me
like,
neither.
oh, okay, you just die and you instantly respawn, but apparently not.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Wishful
back to plot.
thinking. Back to the plot.
Yeah, the plot of the film is very loose. So the monster world, the power runs off children's screams. So children's screaming is what powers the entire world. But children don't get scared as easy anymore, so they need more monsters to scare more children because kids just don't get as scared. But then if you get towards the end of the film, the actual ironic thing is that laughter causes more power.
Yeah, it was one of those. It's like turns out laughter does make the world go around. There. Also, that's another one that cuts off. You're going in there, and it just cuts off.
Yeah. You're going in
So-
there because
so-
we need this. Nope,
So-
nope,
some
nope.
of some of these are good. Also, I don't know if you want to mention, Dean, about the so there's these. So we have these 3 things that you unlock during the game.
Yeah,
And the urban pursuit as well as to why we skipped them.
yeah. So after each level, you end up in like a race with Randall. Now, the urban and the Arctic, not the Arctic, urban and the desert pursuit. Sorry, we can leave. We can skip them because it still unlocks the next area. But to kind of get to the graduation, like the credits, you have to beat the Arctic one. And we're going to start with the tomb. Now, you probably noticed we're playing as Sully. There's a very big reason. There's a very unique skip that only Sully can do. We touched on it earlier. And it has to do, I mean, I don't know the tech side of it, but I believe it's to do with his hitbox, basically. But yeah, first we need to scare a couple of nerves. There's a blue one on the ground, and there's a green one on the roof. So we're gonna climb our way up. Hopefully, we're not gonna trigger the toy that's behind you, because if the toys hit you whilst you're in this scene, they just end it. Like, they just cut it off.
Get all these.
Yeah, good backup. So yeah, we're gonna drop down here. There's a box to the right. We're gonna throw it on top of this tomb. Now, the idea of the game is you want to get 3 boxes, put them down, and it opens up this sarcophagus. But by standing on top of it, it glitches it into the ground, and then Sully can just clip down into the tomb. So we don't need to do that. It's a very cool skip, and something that we both surprisingly felt would be quite difficult to pull off. It's actually quite easy.
Yeah, it's one of them where it looks like there's way more. That was an interesting shot. One that I didn't think I was going to get. Anyhow,
we're doing trick shots now.
That happened. So what are the main things here? There we go. So that's what I wanted to do. I will just kind of say as well, real quick, why the emulator is going a bit loopy, I don't know, but anyhow, it'll be fine. It won't ruin the experience for people.
Fortunately, we can't see that on stream. It's all good. That's cropped out, so we're good.
Must just be the. There we go.
Yeah. But also unique parkour skills here, so you can actually kind of temporarily walk on the little ledge that you're supposed to be like shimmying across.
It's kind of funny as well, 'cause it's like that's not supposed to happen. But it
No,
does.
definitely not. But yeah, you notice we're lining up a shot. Did it on the purple one. Will we get it on the red one?
Missed.
Oh, missed it.
Never mind.
So yeah,
Do it the old-fashioned way. We'll just carry it and put it down. There we go. Sully's scratching his head like, how did I just miss that shot? Even he's stumped. I think. But the other thing as well is that we're actually doing Sully a favour here by showing off his scare animation. So you'll see Mike's for like 99% of the run, apart from this one level. I'll be honest, growing up, because I used to love playing this as a kid, that I used to absolutely love playing as Sully. I don't know what it was, but I always used to like Sully as a character in Monsters Inc. No, nothing against Mike. I did used to just like, I used to just like, I used to like him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. In this game, Sully, I do prefer Sully's animations, like for finishing off the scares, like the bag and putting the bag on his head. I find them more funny.
Also, I will say as well, just for the record, that there is a funny thing that happens here, where, when you're scaring that nerve, the game, for some odd reason, can sometimes leave you in a bit of a weird situation, because what it'll do is it'll be like, oh, okay, you've got to do this and this. It's like, okay, fine, now what? But what I mean by that is the game will put that ooze in front of you, and it actually does block the HUD, so you have to like guess sometimes.
Yeah,
that's like funny. This isn't good.
Yeah,
I wish I knew, but this isn't good.
That lost me like 10 seconds in one of my runs because I got done by the camera. Okay, so now we're taking a break. We're going to the beach. And
one of my, honestly, like one of my favorites. Whoops.
Yeah.
Apart from when that happens, of course. So one of the main things above all else with this game is that it's one of them games that, for a kids game, had no right to have a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Is all I'm gonna say. The soundtrack's a really good soundtrack. It's very kid friendly. I don't think there's too much. Maybe the tune has a bit of a scare factor to it. But I could be wrong about that.
It does a bit, yeah.
According to this game, anyhow, that there is a crap ton of palm trees in the Oasis, and also you can fall off ledges like that. Mike not doing me any favors today. Never mind. No. It's fine.
Yeah. Welcome to the parkour.
Wazowski. He's not called Mike Wazowski for nothing. There we go. Okay, so time to ruin this nerve's day, and by that I mean we're going to nick his we're going to nick his beach ball. The funny thing is, you can actually whack the ball and it will fly off. Also, the thing is as well is this game doesn't actually think you'll get this far down without doing anything. I'll be honest, I don't know why, but yeah, it doesn't think you can actually get this far. It just doesn't expect this. It's like, wasn't expecting that. It's like, you weren't? Like, no.
Yeah.
Also, we've got 3 nerves down. The reason why we haven't got the last 2 yet is because we get a player game of Simon Says. Now, here's a fun one. The pattern for this is actually completely random as well, which is interesting because for a kid's game, you wouldn't think, oh, there's actually any sort of anything in particular. Now we're going to scale this nerve nice and easy. And immediately I'm going to head back for the next one because what we want to do here is we want to get the next one. So red, green, orange, yellow. Okay. Red, green, orange, yellow. Right, and immediately I'm going to start running after it. There we go.
Nice.
We're going to scare it to death. Hopefully. There we go.
Yeah, the fun thing is the pattern is fixed as well. So the first one jumps on the first ledge and jumps back down. That one will jump to the second ledge and jump back. So you kind of know where it's going to go. One thing we didn't mention is you probably noticed the higher in the colors you go, the more inputs you've got to do. It goes in stages. So blue is 1, green is 2, yellow is 3, orange is 4, red is 5. Not that we need to care about the red ones because we're not doing those ones today.
Yeah, just 100% if we need to do them. So the pyramid has a very unique function because this essentially has a how would you put it, Dean? So it'd be like it has a unique like play style, I guess, because you can do multiple things in it.
Yeah, so you probably see that little pyramid that was just by that entrance here. So we're on the side of the pyramid here, and there's a blue and a green nerve on this level. But behind that little pyramid is a little switch. If you activate the switch, it rotates, which then puts you on a different side of the pyramid. So the layout's different. So it's kind of a unique thing, is where they've built a map that you can directly change, which is really a really cool design for a PS1 game, I will say.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's like, oh yeah, this is another thing as well. We can abuse the
Death abuse,
getting killed. That's something. So
yeah,
the next one is snakes, but it's as Dean was saying, yeah, it's quite a unique feature to have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like
The picture that you get on there also defines what enemy you're gonna face, as well, which is again a cool little feature. But yeah, so we've got that one there. There's a red ooze we can get there, which fills a bit more. Do the death abuse. So there's only a couple left. There is one in the starting area on top of these palm trees. And those jumps are not as easy. Like, jumping in this game is not as easy as we're making it look right now.
I mean, I think for platforming pros, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, like, for everyone else, it's like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're on to... I'm assuming that's like their picture of a scarab off the, like, the Egyptian folklore kind of thing. Like a scarab beetle. But yeah, so the last one is an orange nerve up here. So we don't need to do a death abuse on this one because this should give us the medal.
There we go.
I also what I understand is like what Mike does is like gymnastics. How is that designed to scare kids?
I don't know, like bopping yourself on the head. I think that'd just show you're a bit mad, to be honest.
Yeah,
if anything, I think the kid would be like, "This kid's crazy."
Yeah, I'd be like, what's this thing doing in front of me? But yeah, one thing you might notice that we haven't mentioned is that every time you finish a level and it plays like a movie cutscene, it then spawns you back in the level that you were playing. like right where you were, so you have to manually leave each time, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a
back to
shame.
Simon Says.
It resets the other thing as well that it does, that we've kind of not mentioned, is it resets the levels ooze. When you go back into the game, so you're like, wait, I collected all the ooze. It's like, you did, but also the game has other ideas. Not quite. I just need to quickly remember which one I'm doing first. I think it is this one, isn't it? Yeah.
That one, and then it's the left
Lightning bolt.
side. Yeah, the lightning bolt. Yeah.
Yeah. I always get a bit mixed up. Okay, so first one, go after the blue one, which is there. So we're gonna scare him first. Only reason we're gonna scare this thing first is because it's like, there's multiple. So this is actually one of the levels that we do need to get all 3 of these. It's kind of mandatory, to be honest. We've got the sun, the beetle, the wave, and that's it.
Yeah.
So a nice, easy one.
The wave's like a slice of pizza.
Yeah. That's it. So we got sun, wave, and that's a beetle.
You want the beetle
It is
first,
the beetle,
yeah.
isn't it? So yeah, beetle.
Yeah.
I lost myself then. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, the good thing about this level is that, as opposed to the other sections that we've said are random, this is actually a fixed order, so you have to do them. This order will always be the same.
The other thing is, as well, is it's actually quite convenient. There's a fair bit of ooze on this one, so collecting ooze shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot on this one. Like, there's like 3 red oozes on one ledge, which we're gonna have to go to anyway. So, like, one part of this game, which is how to optimize it and how to get a really, really good time, is optimizing your ooze path, like picking up the most optimal oozes. I never thought I'd say that in my life.
So we've got the flame and then the ring thing. So this is actually the first time that we'll have. So I think it's over here. That's it. I couldn't get it right. I was like, I'm sure it's over here somewhere. So
Okay.
I need to get the flame, and what I also need to do is make sure that this nerve moves. I want him to move down here. There we go. So he can stay down there. So we'll do that, and whilst we're over here, I'm gonna take this thing on. Oh no, you don't. Come here, you. Ha! He's going to rest in the shade. I don't think so. Okay, so the reason why we went to get this guy first, you can decide to play it safe and not get it, which is fine. We have got 2 of them already, I believe. So we've done with those. I think it's this.
Yeah, the moon, and then the other one, the one across the way.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So
The balls or whatever they are.
we've got another yellow one. So we've got to get this one first. So we're going to scare him, and then lastly, we just head for the door. And there'll be another one there. But yeah, for the most part, the game's not too hard in terms of its structure. It really isn't that difficult to understand or to even play, I'll be honest. I think it should be easy enough to pick up and understand. Like I said, for someone that played it as a kid, I finished this game quite a lot. And I'd say even 100% in it isn't too difficult. Obviously, start small and go from there.
Yeah. Okay. Back to my hosting, because Howling Mad Mike has donated another $3. And he's decided to do the same thing, but for Sully this time. So let me just warm my voice up quickly. Sully sarcophagus, 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 Sully sarcophagus. That's for not repeating the Mike Wazowski comment.
Also, so we've got another pursuit here. We're going to immediately quit that. And we're going to go into the Arctic area. And also, funny thing is, as well, we was talking about cutscenes being cut off and creating funny situations. If you cut Waternoose off for the desert pursuit, then what ends up happening is you get him say, "Nice work, boys," and then it just stops.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't sound right for the game. So, with that being said, with shenanigans ensuing, I'd like to introduce you to I'd say this is probably one of the worst. 100%. So this has patterns. So this is the ski lift. It has patterns. Patterns that are not very nice.
Yeah.
To
The
put it
cycles.
like these cycles are ridiculous. So I'm gonna leave this guy here. There we go. Okay, so the idea of this one is how good is your platforming skills?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I do
so
know
they've
what I
put
do
the-
need to do though, which is I need to get back on the ski lift. That's okay. So all good fun. Ooh, hello. I actually forgot about you. I was like, no, wait. I guess
Yeah.
lucky. So I'm actually gonna collect. Oh god. Well, was collecting. But I do need to collect some ooze for this. So the main thing about this is we've done both of the blue ones. I now need to get the green one, which I believe is at the top.
Yeah. It's on
and
the it's on the
orange.
ledge.
That orange nerve there is actually one that I really need to get. Luckily though, now if I'm lucky with this, I might be able to jump from one to the other.
Yeah.
Now-
I mean, I actually found as well that if you miss the cycle, you can just jump to the ledge from like where the ski comes from. You haven't got to like wait for the actual ski lift.
Which does remind me actually, I don't think I've got enough ooze, so I might need to run out here a bit and get some ooze, which I am gonna.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah, this level is super tight. So there's one of the red nerves that we don't need to get.
Yeah, the red
Yeah.
nerve being a red bugger, we'll call it. I would say something stronger than that, but let's keep it PG on that one.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so one thing about using Mike as well, which we haven't touched on, is you saw it earlier, is if you hold down the jump button on the second jump, he does like a little hover move with his legs. Sully can't do that. So you get a little bit of extra distance with Mike, and if you do mistime a jump, you can potentially salvage it as well.
I think that's
Yeah.
full lot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be all good.
Yeah, I say this is the last one, and that's ski lift done. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's the hardest level in the run. Like, just because if you miss a cycle, you're losing time. Like, there's not a lot you can do to salvage it if you miss a cycle. If
Yeah,
you get
it's-
it.
It is one of them. Like I think this is the other thing as well with the route that the guys do is that they tend to get the worst level in that area out of the way first. Because basically now going forward, the rest of the level should be a breeze. I think apart from Hot Springs, maybe.
Yeah,
But
Hot
even
Springs
then,
is
that's
quite, yeah.
not too bad. So we got Sugar Shack.
It's my favorite
Um,
level.
Yeah, I absolutely love the music for this level, to be honest.
Yeah, like
So
the ooze is free in this level as well. Like they are so generous in the ooze they give you in this level. So you'll see there's just red ooze everywhere.
it's
So-
like you can easily pick loads up early on in the level. As you can see.
Yes, there you go. So we're almost filling up the orange level. Also, that is a very interesting camera angle for scaring this nerve.
Tell me about it. I think any minute he's gonna just drop.
Yeah, I
To be
think
honest,
you've
as
gone
soon
off
as
the
I
edge slightly.
unfreeze, he's just gonna be like, oh no,
Oh,
quite
no, we're good. We're good.
close enough. I think the one thing that annoys me about this one is the fact that so you actually need to get on the roof of the shack.
Yeah.
The roof of the shack is not easy to get on. Also, funny thing is, the camera angle for this one, for some odd reason, is an absolute pain. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Um,
I think what they've done is they've gone with the whole point of like a fixed camera angle, but then they've put you in between two mountains which have collision. So every time the camera moves, it hits the collision.
It's like, could be worse, but it's like, no, it is worse because it hits the friggin', it hits that.
Yeah, and it can mess your jumps up as well. So you could be jumping one way, and then the camera will decide to go, nope, I'm taking you this way.
So this is the other thing as well. So what we need to do now is I need to throw these logs on here. And it means that I need to end up doing something I don't want to have to do, but I'm going to have to. Which is carrying some wood, and hopefully Mike's not much of a bugger for climbing this. Hopefully he's not, he says. Hey, he's up.
Hey,
First try, look at that.
that was nice.
I have done the mistake of falling into the friggin' what's it
I
called?
haven't done that. It's the cabin. I haven't done that yet myself,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting for the run where I do.
It's easy to do it if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's the only thing about this category that sometimes you do kind of like go, you know what, because you do miss out on seeing a lot of cool areas because we don't need to get everything. 100% is quite good for that because you have to go and pick up stuff in most areas, and there's some cool little secrets in the levels as well.
I kind of
Like
wish
the
there was
slides.
more, to be honest.
Yeah, like it does feel like this game could have had a lot more. There's like really cool slides, there's cool jumping puzzles. Like there's a lot to this game, and so we're only showing off like I would say like 10% of it.
But I'd say about half, to be honest.
I
Give or
suppose, yeah.
take.
Yeah, maybe I mean just not as generous.
So,
But yeah,
hopefully I can get this ooze. There we go. That is useful. So this is also another level as well where we can actually death abuse.
yeah.
To get you can get past a fair bit of the game. So one of the things that we are definitely going to do is get it. I think it's this. Right, it warps you. No, not quite. Okay, maybe not there. But there's one bit in particular where it allows you to jump. Well, okay, maybe not. Game's definitely not letting me out of this one. God damn.
Yeah, it's all good to say. You can go over here. You can get the ooze. Like you said, there is a way which you can kind of manipulate the game to spawn you in certain areas. But the one thing in this level you probably noticed, and probably in a few other levels, is the game likes to put like the higher level nerves, like the orange and the yellow one, at the start of a level, just to make you go back.
Yeah, it's a bit of a silly one, really.
Yeah.
I think this is the one I mean. Ooh, good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
There you
there's this one here you can get to, and then you can jump across to get to the one that's on like an island as well. And then you can death abuse from there to get back to the start of the level where we can scare the other two. Like,
So as
Think of-
long as I don't get hit again, or might be able to pick up a health pack.
Might be worth it, yeah.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so we get this one here, and then what I've got to do now is I've got to get to the other side. And you're like, but how do you get there? It's like, actually, it's quite easy.
yeah,
So I just do this.
yeah,
I should
jump
put
there.
that on again. There we go.
There we go, back at the start. So yeah, this level is basically one big circle around like a castle in the middle. So that's quite a nice thing. We've basically just done a lap of the island.
Essentially, yeah. It's like, oh, it could be worse. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sure it could be. And then there's this one guy on his own. He's having a bad day. We're gonna make his life even worse by scaring the hell out of him,
Yeah, for some reason
And
he's just walking into a
apparently-
wall.
showing us our back, showing him our behind apparently, which is an interesting one.
Yeah, well, I'd be scared of that definitely.
So now what we've got is finally the last but not least. I'd say we've saved an interesting one till last, which is the hot springs.
Yeah, Hot Springs
Um,
is a very interesting level.
So last but not least, hot springs is quite for a name like hot springs. It's quite chill. It's quite good as well.
Yeah, it's Hot
Um,
Springs in an ice level.
But the music's so good for this level. I think.
Yeah. Like, I would just recommend this game for the soundtrack. But yeah. Also, yeah, the one thing we haven't mentioned in the Arctic level, yes, the enemies are penguins.
Oh, and in the special case of this one, icicles.
Oh yeah, and icicles fall from the ceiling because you know what wouldn't be as good in an ice cave as icicles falling and potentially killing you. You know, kids game, guys.
Also apparently, it's one of them where it's like, oh yeah, we could definitely make this game harder. It's like, are you sure? Like, yes, could definitely make the game harder. And how would you do that? Easy. Deathless chasms, I guess. So basically, what we've just jumped over there is a chasm that essentially, come on, can I get you?
You might have to grab the ledge to be able to grab it.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice, we finally got it. I haven't got that for ever, actually. I don't think I've ever managed to get that. I keep forgetting you can just bounce. You can get him to do a bounce and it'll make him go that way.
Yeah, some of the jumps and off the trampolines and stuff in this game, they do make it easier for like Sully to do certain things, but there's things that Mike's better at as well.
There we go.
But
yeah,
yeah,
I need to get orange for the final bit. So that basically means this green one here, and also the yellow one up top. I need to scare the hell out of them. And then once they're done, it's like, okay, that's fine. All we need to do now is basically get... Well, that wasn't very nice game. Come on.
Yep, welcome to Cycles again, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we were into, again, a level built on cycles for the springs.
So what we need to do now is we actually want to get death abuse. But unfortunately, I haven't been taking any damage this whole time, so I'm just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to play the slow game with this.
Oh, yeah, I'll say, you've not been hit once, so we're going to get the very slow version. This snowman's doing you in right now.
So you get 5 hits, and essentially what you can do is, in a way to quickly kill you, or to kill the monster, to kill Mike, is you can fall down one of the chasms, and it instantly makes him go, oops, and he just instantly gets killed. Because for some reason it's like, oh yeah, you think you're going to survive falling down a large chasm? No, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen at all.
Exactly. Okay, so we're entering the final level that we need to do, which is the good old Arctic Pursuit. So
not before going through bloody cutscenes one after another.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, we've got to unlock the final thing, which is going to be useful in this level. So we have to do this one. Randall's going to cheat and just go first. Now, the idea of this is you're supposed to collect as many of these tokens as possible and win the race. It doesn't actually matter if you win the race or not. Time just ends when we finish the race. So, one thing about this as well is that you don't get like health. So if you just fall and die, you're restarting the entire level. You're just restarting the race entirely. So this is a one go or lose a minute and a half, which I did in a run.
I think I've definitely done on many occasions.
Yeah. Here's one of the things you can unlock as well.
Yeah, we don't really show off the things you can unlock because we skip them.
Yeah, exactly. Like the things like you got trampolines, you've got those. But yeah,
I'm playing this extra save, to be honest.
That's absolutely fair. Yeah.
Won't be the best run I've ever done, but still. Also, there you go.
It's all good. Okay, we are coming up on time very, very shortly. We will let you know when it is. It's as we cross the finish line of the race. Oh, that was close.
There you go. There goes. There you go. That's what I mean with the. Yeah, I can never slow down enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Point with what happens.
So, person on timer, you can relax for another minute. It's all good.
You got another minute and a half.
Yeah. We've got a bit longer.
Oh dear. It had to happen, of course it did.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it. That was me.
It's just that last bit for some reason. Just slowing Mike down is just
It's
friggin'
difficult, yeah.
frustrating. Like you can't slow him down. For some reason, you either, for me at least, well, yeah, from where I always do it, you either get it or you just don't get it, and I'm like, am I gonna get it or am I not?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
if I get it in PV, I'm lucky if I get it.
yeah, I think a lot depends on how you take like the first jump. Like if you take it too far to the left, then you're basically screwed. But yeah, it's fine. We just wanted to give you guys the soundtrack. I mean, listen to this amazing soundtrack.
Oh, we're stuck on 69 tokens. God damn it.
Oh. Okay.
Right, I'm slowing Mike right down.
Yeah. So
Right down.
Time is coming up. And
now.
Time.
That is not good.
GG.
And I quit to Scare Island, and guess what? I graduate! Yay!
Yay!
I lost the race and I graduate.
Yeah, we're now officially workers for Monsters Incorporated. We can go on our journey and become the top scarer.
Of the academy.
Although I just love Mike's face in this cutscene.
He's just like so excited to be there.
Yeah.
I am honored to present you both with these bronze medals.
But yeah, overall,
To you both.
with Monsters Inc. though, definitely give it a try. I will just mention as well, just a few like final quick things. You don't get any credits apparently because the game says, nah, why not?
We're not done yet.
So I'll let you sit and look at Mike, and he can look around in paranoia, because he knows he's on screen right now. But the one thing I will say is that Monsters Inc. came out on the Game Boy Advance. There is a Game Boy Advance version if you wish to run that. I don't know how it plays, so I can't comment on it much. But yeah, there is a Game Boy Advance version, just called Monsters Inc. Nothing else. As we mentioned at the start, so this is Monsters Inc. Scare Island if you played the PAL version. If you played the North America version, which is what it is on speedrun.com, it's Monsters Inc. Scream Team. The guy who's got the record for any percent is a guy called Rabini with 35 minutes and 54 seconds. So the guy's way better at the game than I am. There's also a PC port of this game. It's a bit of a pain to get to work, but I believe that the community has done a great job in fixing it, or at least there is a much better build now of the PC version. I do believe you can, if you so desire, you can actually emulate it on, PC, whatever they are, the PC clone things. I forget what they call them.
Like the virtual machine or something like that.
That's it. Virtual machine, yeah. Obviously, alternatively, you can emulate the PS1 version. Emulators are allowed, as is the disk speed, I believe. There's rules for emulation, as there always is, but yeah, if you want to run this on emulator, feel free to do so. I do believe the record is set on console, but yeah, I think that's kind of going to wrap me up for this run. But the other last few things, actually, to kind of mention, just closing thoughts real quick. Thanks for having me in the event and allowing me to run. I think it's the first time I've showed this off for a marathon ever, so thanks very much for not the game itself. I'm pretty sure this has been shown off before by others, but first time that I've shown it off for an event. So yeah, that's a new one. But yeah, thanks to my community for being very supportive. Thanks obviously for Dean as well for commentary purposes, as well as hosting, of course.
Multitasking.
And obviously thanks to my partner in crime, who's always with me by my side no matter what I do. She's sat there looking at me right now, and I know she'll be happy with it. So yeah, I love her very much. She knows who she is. But yeah, and that's going to be my closing thoughts. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, if you want to catch me, I'm over at Viper Race on Twitch, but I'll try to stream as when I can. I mainly do racing games, but these come up every now and again. So yeah, over to you, Dean.
Thank you. I'll say thanks for the run. Thanks for having me as commentator. And yeah, as your host, I'm going to say don't go anywhere because we have more runs coming up. So don't go away. We'll be right back.